A brand new Wrangler can cost $80,000 today, but owners are already reporting screens that die, water leaking into the cabin, hybrid battery issues, and a terrifying steering problem called the death wobble. Before you buy a 2026 Jeep Wrangler, here are 7 problems you absolutely need to know. Problem 7. The screen that breaks itself. You drop up to 80 grand on a new Wrangler, start it up one morning, and the big 12.3-inch screen just goes black, reboots itself, goes black again, over and over like a cheap tablet you bought off a sketchy website. And this is not some rare thing. A wave of 2025 and 2026 owners are dealing with this right now. One guy on the JL Wrangler forums grabbed his brand new 2026 Rubicon X in November 2025. Within a few weeks, the navigation completely died. The compass on his dash started showing a weird red arrow instead of a direction, which meant the GPS lost its signal every time he turned the truck on. He drove to 2 different dealers, and neither one could do a thing about it. So what did Stellantis tell him? Wait, there was a software update coming in early 2026. Until then, every dealer was told to just sit tight. So this guy is paying for a truck that costs more than a down payment on a house, and the screen that runs his climate, his backup camera, and his off-road settings randomly decides to shut off whenever it wants. A broken screen is annoying though. What comes after this one could actually soak your shoes while you are sitting in your own truck. Problem 6. It leaks water from day one. So every car on Earth, from the cheapest sedan to the fanciest SUV, has 2 rubber seals around the doors. One on the door, one on the body. They press together and keep water out. Every car except the Wrangler. Jeep only put a seal on the door. There is nothing on the body side. They skipped it. So from the second you drive off the lot, tiny gaps between the door and the body let rain and wind blow right in. People talk about water dripping on the dashboard, pooling under the seats, soaking through the carpet. And when you get on the highway and push past 60, the wind noise gets so bad you basically have to yell at whoever is sitting next to you. Jeep added better insulation for 2026, and that did help a little with the noise. But the missing seal? That stayed the same. A whole business of aftermarket seal kits exists just because Jeep left out half the door sealing at the factory. Paying $200 to waterproof a $50,000 vehicle should not be a thing. Water in your cabin gets old fast. But the next problem drains something way more painful: your gas money. Problem 5. It drinks gas like a truck from 2005. The V6 Wrangler gets about 17 miles per gallon around town. The 2.0 turbo does a little better at 20. Both sit around 22 on the highway. Compare that to the average midsize SUV that does way better, and you start to feel the difference every time you pull into a gas station. But those are the official numbers. Real life is worse. One guy on the Wrangler forum ran a 177-mile test on good roads with no wind, drove easy, kept it at 70, barely hit the turbo, and still could not match the numbers Jeep puts on the window sticker. When he called Jeep about it, they told him it was his driving. They never once asked him how he actually drives. And the 4xe hybrid? Once the battery runs dry, you are hauling around an extra 2,000 pounds of electric gear while pulling 20 to 21 miles per gallon. One owner said that was about the same as his buddy's full-size pickup. And because the hybrid system eats up space where the gas tank should be, the 4xe caps your total range at around 300 miles. That means you are hitting gas stations way more often than you ever planned, and spending more time at the pump than someone driving a regular V6 Wrangler without the hybrid system. Spending extra money on gas is bad enough, but the next problem might not even let you start the truck. Problem 4. The battery dies on brand new trucks. You walk outside, hit the key fob, and nothing happens. Dead battery. Less than 1,000 miles on it. One guy on the JL forums owned 3 Wranglers in a row. Battery died in under a year on the first, 2 years on the second, and his 2025 started acting weak after just 3 months. He said his Toyota Camry still ran fine on the same battery after 5 years. His words about the Wrangler batteries were not kind. The 4xe hybrid makes this even scarier. Someone bought a brand new 2024 4xe and it would not start on day 1. never made it off the dealer lot. Another person saw the check engine light at 1,200 miles, and by 1,800 miles, the whole truck refused to turn on. The dealer blamed the hybrid battery and told them to wait at least a month for a fix. They had only made 2 payments. And that's when the lawyers showed up. A class action lawsuit claims the Samsung battery packs in 4xe models have defects that can cause overheating and fires. Jeep dropped 3 separate recalls for 4xe batteries in late 2025, and at one point, Jeep actually told owners to stop parking near buildings. The company that built the truck told people to park it away from their house. That is a real thing that happened. And this next problem has been driving owners crazy since the JL first hit the market. Problem 3. The quality just is not there. Consumer Reports looked at the data and predicted the 2026 Wrangler will be less reliable than the average new car. RepairPal gave it 3 out of 5 and ranked it 28th out of 29 in its class, second to last. One guy on the forums bought 3 JL Wranglers. Every single one broke on him. His 4xe ended up in a lemon law fight. His 392 spent so much time at the dealer that he gave up and got rid of it. And the crazy part? He said he keeps coming back because he loves Wranglers, and that is exactly his problem. Another owner's 2018 with 103,000 miles sat dead for 6 months with wiring problems. The dealer wanted over 10 grand to fix it. His 2021 needed a new radiator, AC compressor, and alternator all within a few months of each other. People on the forums put a lot of blame on former Stellantis boss Carlos Tavares for squeezing costs everywhere he could. He left the company, and owners are hoping new leadership fixes things. But as one longtime member put it, the JL has been around since 2018, and not much is changing. Even if your Wrangler runs perfectly, though, Problem 2 is built into the way this thing was designed. Problem 2. It fights you on the highway. Off-road, the Wrangler is a monster. Through mud, over rocks, across water, almost nothing can keep up with a Rubicon on a trail. But almost every Wrangler owner drives theirs on pavement, and on the highway, this truck pushes back. The solid front axle that makes it so good in the dirt also makes the ride stiff and bouncy. Consumer Reports said it feels jittery even on smooth roads. That boxy shape and thin insulation let wind noise get so loud above 60 that talking to your passenger takes effort. Jeep did sharpen up the steering for 2026 with a recalibrated rack and quicker turn-in, and that actually helps. But the Wrangler still does not drive like a modern SUV, and after a long highway trip, you will feel it in your back and your patience. Getting in and out is clumsy too. You either step on the running board and end up too high, or you stretch over it. Either way, your pants drag across it every time you climb out. After mud or snow, that stops being funny real quick. U.S. News ranked it near the bottom of its class. The Ford Bronco, Toyota 4Runner, and Honda CR-V all beat it for daily comfort. None of that kills the magic for people who actually hit trails. But if this is your daily ride, you need to know what you are living with. And now number 1, the one so scary that owners named it after death. Problem 1, the death wobble. You are doing 55 on the highway. You hit a pothole, and out of nowhere the steering wheel starts shaking left and right so hard your hands can barely hold on. The dash blurs. The whole front of the truck feels like it is tearing itself apart. The only way to stop it is to slow down or pull over. Owners call it the death wobble, and it has been scaring people for decades. It happens because of the solid front axle. When any part in the steering or suspension gets even a little loose, a bump at speed can kick off a shaking cycle that feeds on itself and will not stop until the truck slows down. NHTSA got over 450 complaints about this from JL owners alone. Jeep told dealers to swap out the steering stabilizer, but owners and mechanics all say the same thing. That is a Band-Aid. It hides the shaking without fixing the worn parts that actually cause it. One owner had his stabilizer swapped twice under warranty. The wobble came back both times. He ended up spending $1,200 of his own money on better track bars, ball joints, and an alignment to finally kill it. Another 4xe owner hit the death wobble twice in 46,000 kilometers. The first dealer replaced the ball joints, and it worked. The second dealer, at a different shop, Just wanted to throw in a new damper. Same truck, same shaking, two totally different answers. Jeep itself does not seem to know what the real fix is. Nobody has died from it as of early 2026, but injuries and crashes have been reported, and the stories keep piling up on every Jeep forum online. And experienced owners will tell you straight up, it is not about if your Wrangler gets the death wobble, it is about when. Look, I love Wranglers too, but I would rather know this stuff before signing the papers than after. Share this with anyone shopping for one right now. They will thank you later. See you next time.